Hey, how's everyone doing? This is Melvin here, and this is well, for now, what I'm gonna call this show is I'm just gonna call it the 3T show. Not 3D, but 3T. What are each of the T? The first T, it's basically a talent. The second T is teach, and the third T is transform. So, first up, I would want to start off today's broadcast by saying this thing to you. I'm not sure if anybody have ever told you this before, but I'm gonna tell you this. So, are you ready? You, yes, you are beautiful. Yes, absolutely. You are beautiful. Many of us sometimes we kind of, live in an environment whereby we are told that, you're not good enough. Um, I, I remember many years back when I was consulting for a school, there was this principal. I must say he is absolutely enlightened. Now, what did I say that? He was one of the few, very, very few principals that I know where he chose to tell his KPs or key personnel. He told his KPs that he is not going to use the same method as the other principals are using in terms of performance appraisal. So, when it comes to performance appraisal, many a times it's about let's look at what are your areas for improvement. And so we kind of dive into that aspect of you're not good enough in this area or you're not good enough in that area. And as a result of that, these are the things that I would like you to improve. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think is going to be the person's energy when he or she comes out of that session where he's been constantly told that on a scale of 1 to 10, this is where he's not good enough, this is where he's not good enough. Of course, they sprinkle in with some areas that they felt that, you are good. But by and large, it's really focusing on what you're not good enough and what is it that you can do to better yourself. And so we get stuck in that mindset, in that world of you're just not good enough. You have a lot of faults and you need some major fixing. And yes, as a Christian, as a believer, as a Jesus follower, I agree that we are never perfect. But we are never perfect only in God's eyes. Because we as humans can never be at that level whereby, we are pure and we are good, right? So we are imperfect. And as a Christian, as a believer, as a Jesus follower, I believe that I need God to help me because I'm not perfect. That said, to be judged as not good enough by another person, I'm going to call BS on that because we grow up in such a model, a society, a mindset whereby we are always look at why are we deficient in a certain way. And, it's like when we're in school, you shouldn't talk or you shouldn't do this because, this is the area that you need to work on. Sure, I understand the idea of recognizing where you could improve. However, my contention has always been the following. If you tell me that I have to be good in a particular area, but what if that's not my strength? I mean, that's not what I was made to do, right? I mean, you may tell me as my boss, you may tell me that, hey, I want you to do more, whatever it is, right? But it's just not, in my skin. It's just not natural. And if I would have forced it, it's going to come off as unnatural, or worse, it's going to come off as not authentic. And so the key premise behind that really is that you are beautiful because God created you that way. I mean, I don't mean this to be a religious broadcast itself, but I'm just sharing with you my belief, right? It doesn't mean that I'm imposing on you, but to me, God created you for who you are, and that's what makes you special, because we're not going to find another you. We are not going to find another person who is just like you. And if we're not going to find another person just like you, why on earth would you want to waste your time, energy, and resources to become another person? So many years back, I had this partner, and he would always tell me that, in a way that you're not so much a people person, right? So he would tell me that. And my strongest contention against that statement itself, I mean, I recognize and acknowledge what he says, but my biggest contention about that statement is that, but why are you asking me to be someone I am not? Why are you asking me to be someone I am not? And I think many a times we, either as bosses, or we as parents, or we as a leader, sometimes we kind of want our followers or the people in our community to be of a certain, mindset and what do you call that? I'm just exhausted today, right? We want them to, excuse me, we want them to be of a certain mold, because we kind of think that, right? I mean, if all of us are going to be in this community together, then we all get to have, we all got to be like-minded. But the question is, why do I want to be like you? Or why do you want to be like me? You, yes, you are beautiful. You have been made to be exactly you. And so stop wasting your time and life trying to be someone else. And what's worse, stop trying to be someone else just so that you can get the approval of others. And worse still, stop trying to be someone else so that you can get the approval from your parents, from your loved ones. I think we have to stop that. And so my message to you today really is focusing on, first thing first, you are beautiful. Second thing, please stop wasting your time trying to be someone else, because you are who you are. And there is only one you in this entire world. And if that is who you are and you are beautiful, why do you want to waste your time trying to be someone else? Just be yourself. And once you have acknowledged, and once you have recognized, and once you have that synced into you, the truth will emerge. you would then find your own strength, your own personality, your own worldview, and that is what makes you ultimately unique. Because you and I could have gone through the same experiences, right? Just like for us guys here in Singapore, we all go through serving 2 years as a conscript. That said, your experience and my experience would be a totally different one, even if we have been serving in the same vocation, in the same camp, in the same, under the same people. Your experience and mine would be totally different. And why is that so? That is so because of your background, of your upbringing, of your education, of the environment that you grew up in. You may see things differently from me, and I will see things differently from you. Does that make you correct and me less correct? I don't think so. At the end of the day, it's not about who is more correct. I think at the end of the day, it's who has got the ability to have a more accurate interpretation of the circumstance. And so, I want to say this here today because today it's a very exhausting day for me. I was hoping to be able to share with you the details, but I'm not able to because otherwise it would complicate matter. But I promise that I will share with you what's going on. And if I could add, today the main thing for me really is recognizing that no matter how hard you try, you may never be good enough for someone else. Whether that someone is an employer, whether that someone is a friend, whether someone is a brother or a sister, someone is a spouse, that someone is a child, or that someone is a parent. I think you will never be good enough for that other person. And let's be very clear here. I think if you are spending an enormous amount of time trying to be someone you are not, so that you can please someone else, then I think you and I need to talk. Because I think the turning point for me today was that I'm done, right? I'm done trying to please people, trying to be someone, or trying to live up to someone else's expectation. I guess that's partly the reason why I am, technically speaking, unemployable. And that's why I am probably better off, working, doing my own things rather than being an employee. I mean, some of us are just, technically speaking, not suited to be an employee, right? Yeah, so, I think today I'm done. Today, what's today's date? Today is the 8th of June. And yeah, I'm done. being someone I'm not. And so moving forward, I'm just going to be who I am. And if you happen to be watching and you like it, and it resonates with you, well and good, welcome to my community. But if you think I'm full of shit, well, it's your prerogative and it is your interpretation. I cannot control what you think. And so if you think I'm full of shit, and if you think that, I'm just taking up airspace, then, by all means, please, switch over to something else. Don't watch me, right? I mean, because I didn't put a gun to your head and say that, hey, you got to watch me. No, you have the very choice. But like I say, I'm done. I'm done trying to be someone so that I could please someone, and the fact that even with the best of intentions and with whatever best efforts there is, sometimes that someone just cannot be pleased. And so why waste time, right? Okay, I'm sorry, today is just a little emotional. It's a little different. But it is what it is. I'm probably not gonna, take it all the way up to 20 minutes itself. But I would like to take this opportunity for those of you who are watching to connect with you and to answer whatever questions that you may have for me pertaining to, where did I get my cap? Pertaining to what gear do I use for live streaming? Pertaining to, anything at all. So I'm open to answering any of your questions. Maybe to start things off is that I think many people have commented that they like my cap, and this is actually courtesy of Cristo. Not courtesy as in like he sent it to me for free. I actually bought 2 of them. But courtesy because it is through him that I got these 2 caps. And I fell in love with these 2 caps because primarily, number one, I feel that as a believer, previously I was wearing that Nike white cap all the time. And it became my signature, and it became something that people identify with. However, after a while, it just doesn't make sense, because why am I promoting and why am I showcasing the Nike brand when they are not even paying me? And so, to hell with Nike, right? And so I wanted a different cap, but I was looking for something that can be a conversation starter, can be something that and it's something that I believe in, right? I mean, I do not want to wear something that says Roger, whatever, right? Like Tiger Woods, for example. I mean, I'm not Tiger Woods, and I know nothing about golf. So I wanted a cap that was something that I'm able to, first, I want it to be a conversation piece. Secondly, I wanted people to see me and identify, and to be able to link me to that cap. Like every time they see me, they're like, "Oh, you're the guy with that cap," And then the other thing was that I wanted, and then the bonus of it was that when I saw this cap, it said God is a designer. And, as you know, I'm a believer, I'm a Jesus follower. And so, when I saw that, I was like, hey man, I got to get those caps. And so when Cristo from the future released the sale of the caps, I step up too, without in a heartbeat, and have them shipped from all the way from was it Santa Monica all the way to Singapore. And that is where I got the caps is out of stock. But perhaps I do not know. Maybe at some point in time they might restock it, and you might be able to get them. Okay, so that's it for today. Again, my message for you today is that you are beautiful. So don't go wasting your time trying to be someone else, and worse, don't waste your time trying to be someone else so that you can please some other people, because you are who you are. You are beautiful. You are who you are because God made you that way. And there will never be another you, because there is only one you. And so, what makes you truly unique is your worldview, is your experiences, it's your perspective. And we like that. We want to see more of that, because that is what makes it interesting. And that is what makes it such that it's something I cannot Google. That's what makes it so unique. And with that, this is Melvin Tan. I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye bye.